What's up, team? Good morning. Hope y'all are well today. Give me 1 second. I'm getting everything set up. I'll be back in just. I'll turn the mic back on in just a second. Hey, what's up, guys? So I went to the doctor yesterday, right? I went to the ER because I just wasn't feeling that right. And they took my blood sugar, and my blood sugar was high relative to what it should be, but it wasn't like pre-diabetes or like diabetes high, right? It was just high relative to what it should be. And so, I mean, honestly, realistically, it might just be high because I've been nauseous 24/7, sitting in the bed eating cereal all day because I can't even freaking move because I'm nauseous all the time. But hey, I gotta fast this morning, and the only thing they said I could drink, I'm usually drinking tea right now because I'm usually drinking tea, but they said I could drink black coffee, and you know, I need my caffeine. So today is the first day that I'm drinking coffee in like months. And so, hey, y'all will get to watch me if I get sick or not drinking coffee. It'll be an event here on YouTube. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. Wish me luck, team. You know, we'll see if coffee gets me sick today. It's just plain black organic coffee, so it should be fine. But hey, it might not be, you know. We'll see what happens, though. I'm gonna take my first sip right now. I really haven't sipped it yet because I gotta go take I'm supposed to fast this morning so I can take my blood sugar at like 10 something. So like, we'll see how that goes, you know. Coffee's so good though, man. It's been like months since I've had coffee, man. Coffee's so good. Hey, yes sir, Sage. You know. Alright, yeah, so, I'm watching MGEN. Whoa. There's some new music here. Let's see how it goes. I can kind of feel it. Alright, so, MGEN. This one's gapping up from 52 cents all the way to 116. We'll see what happens with MGN. We got SCKT here. Gapping up from like 250s all the way to 370s. We'll watch that one. We got XSPA. We got XSPA sitting here at 196. We'll see what happens with this one as well. We got AGE. Gapping up from 180s all the way to 204s. We got APTX. Whew. Damn, coffee's good, man. AGE, ASTC. What we got today, guys? Let me know. USWS. if you like these really real penny stocks. CVEO gap it up a little bit. Kind of slow today, honestly, is what it's looking like. GE. GE's got, you know, an actual move. SYNL. FNGD. YCBD. YJ. Yeah, very slow day, team. Very slow day. Main move. I mean, we got MGEN probably as my favorite one. This one's popping off pretty big, sitting just over $1 now. Hey, what's up, Emmanuel? What's up, DS? What's up, Danny? $1,100, Bobby. What are you talking about, bro? $1,100, man. That's a lot. You talking about pesos? What you talking about, man? $1,100. Nah, it's like $118 a month, roughly. $118 is what I pay. $1,100 though, man. I ain't paying that. Hey, thank you, Trader T. I appreciate it. Hey. Yeah, man, I don't know what is wrong with me, man. All I know is that I wake up every day nauseous. That's all I know. I wake up every day nauseous. Every time I eat, I get nauseous. You know, my blood sugar, like I said, my blood sugar was a little high. It was like 140, you know? But it's not super high. Like I said, that might just be because I'm sitting in bed eating cereal all day because I can't freaking get out of bed because I'm nauseous all the time. You know what I mean? That's the plausible explanation for that. And so, hey, I don't know what's wrong with me, but we're going to get it figured out. I got an endoscopy next week. Like I said, it might also just be because I tried to get off the omeprazole, and like that stuff is terrible, and you know, if you try to stop taking proton pump inhibitors, acid reducers, you get super sick, and that's a plausible explanation for it too, and that's honestly what I'm hoping it is, because I did feel noticeably better as soon as I started taking those PPIs again. So, you know, who knows, man. Well, we're gonna figure it out. I mean, whether it's worth it is subjective and relative to you. And so whether that price is gonna be worth it to you is gonna be subjective. You know, it depends, man. If you find, I don't suggest paying for it yearly. I mean, you could, but like I don't. I pay it monthly, and like, you know, like I said, it's all relative to you. You know, if you have enough money to pay for it, great. You know, if not, that's okay too. You know. So yeah, we got MGEN. Yeah, hey, it's slow. For sure, certainly slow. Alright, yeah, so for all you guys with MGEN, we got my man Mordecai /2way in here. And he is letting us know that they have a hidden ATM shelf. Or they have a shelf, but they have a hidden ATM. At the market offerings, yeah, it's hidden. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you do save $500 if you pay yearly. I mean, that's understandable. Like I said, it's all subjective. I find value in it. It alerts me of what's moving every day, especially if you're trading like momentum penny stocks. I think it's certainly worth it if you can make your money back. But hey, it just depends, man. You know, everybody's a little bit different. You know, we got SCKT sitting here. We'll watch this one, see what happens. Let's look up the catalyst here. Alright, so this is Miragen Therapeutics, and they are higher after the company announced that they are acquiring Viridian Therapeutics, but no terms were ultimately disclosed here. Hey, I appreciate the sub, Daddy. Thank you, man. I appreciate the sub, bro. Welcome. I appreciate that. But yeah, so they are, the company announced they're acquiring Viridian Therapeutics for MGE. And like I said, they do have hidden at the market offering, so be careful here with this one. Shout out to Mordecai for hitting me up with that. But yeah, so we're watching, if we're looking at this one specifically and we're watching any like levels here, $1 is like the big level. I mean, $1 is the whole dollar. It's the only whole dollar in recent, you know, movement. Maybe 150 up here if it does end up breaking this pre-market high at 144, but these are really the only levels I'm watching. The only other one I could see here is 120. You know, we do have some confirmation at around 120 as a support level, and so we'll see what happens there for MGEN as well. We also have SCKT. This is Socket Mobile, and the shares are trading higher after the company reported its Socket Scan S550 achieved Apple Wallet compatibility. So Apple Wallet compatibility with Socket Mobile, and it is gapping up because of it, gapping up from 250s all the way to 380s. It is a mobile card reader, and it passed Apple certification process. So we'll see what happens here with this one. Gapping up nicely here. We already got some levels drawn out for this one that look like previous levels that I've seen here. We're also going to watch the pre-market highs up here at around 425 and 430. You know, this support level right here, resistance level, whatever. We're going to watch that. And I think that this is the most reasonable levels to watch here, especially the whole $1.04 right above us. So we'll see if we can break that or not. But we're keeping an eye on this one as well for SCKT. We also got CYH gapping up, although the volume's not really that hot on this one. We got APTX gapping up, although that one's not really looking that great either. XSPA. I mean, this one doesn't look that bad. We can look up the news for XSPA, but I'm not really loving it per se, you know. Express Spa, XSPA, they highlighted the opening of the Express Check at Boston's Logan International Airport today. So, yeah, they opened up an Express Check COVID testing facility at Logan International Airport in Boston today. Here's the thing, man. Is this the type of catalyst that's going to succeed long term? I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I'm not saying the company's not going to succeed long term. I mean, I don't think it probably will, let's be honest here. But I'm not saying it's certainly not, and we'll see what happens. But, like, this is one of those catalysts that I think is going to dwindle down as time goes on. You know, but we'll see. Hey, it's gapping up. It's at 211 right now. We can, you know, watch some levels, although the volume's pretty light here. I'm looking at 250. 225, it's just $1.50 just to keep it simple here, just because the volume's so light. I'm just not really loving it. And so FLL showing up on the scans here. FLL, nothing really crazy. If you like these really cheap penny stocks, we got GHSI. We got GHSI gapping up here. Not any levels to really watch for GHSI. This is Guardian Health Sciences, and they announced newly published data demonstrating superior visual function and macular carotenoid changes using Guardian's proprietary Lumega Z formulation compared to Arid's S2 formulation. Nailed it. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. Something positive data. It looks like a biodrugs positive data. So we'll see what happens with GHSI. Very cheap penny stock. We got TGC, which got some levels that we can watch. USWS. If you guys have anything else that I missed here, let me know. We got ASTC. Gapping up a little bit. I guess we could look at ASTC here. This is Astrotech, and the company is trading higher after they announced their subsidiary First Detect surpassed 1 million in purchase orders. So 1 million in purchase orders were passed. They hit that milestone for ASTC. We'll see what happens here. I mean, we got 225 is really what I'm watching in the pre-market high up here. Like I said, let me know if you got anything that I missed here. AUVI. Oh, AUVI is one that I completely missed. This one's up like 100%, roughly 100%, maybe a little bit less than 100% for AUVI here. We'll see what happens here. It's sitting at 1153. It closed at around 630s. So huge moves here, roughly 100%. I mean, a little bit less, like 95% roughly. But hey, it's gapping up a huge amount for AUVI. And the catalyst for this one specifically, this is Applied UV, and they reported exclusive license and joint development deal with Axis Lighting to commercialize LED-based technologies and UVC devices to inactivate pathogens on surfaces in hospital market. And no terms were ultimately disclosed there, but yeah, development deal for AUVI, and this one's really popping off here. It's sitting at 1160s. Hey, listen, y'all be careful with this one, because this is kind of the same type of the same type of setup that another, big time trader trades, and you can get some drastic drops and low breaks and halts and just some nonsense going on with some of those moves. And so, hey, be careful here with AUVI, because this thing is super extended. It is very volatile, and the range is ridiculously huge. And so while you can make a ton of money trading this thing, you could also lose a huge amount of money. So just be careful. If you do trade it, scale down your size. Don't be dumb. And, reserve the YOLOing for Drake himself. You know what I mean? Don't do it in stocks. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. S&P showing up on the scans. S&P, and I don't hate this one. We got like $1 that we can watch right above us for S&P. No catalyst for this one. It might just be sympathy from some of these other moves. But yeah, some huge moves here. Let me go ahead and make my watch list, team. I don't think I've done that quite yet. This is about it right now. If you got anything else here, let me know. This is what I'm watching mostly right now. Hey, thank you, man. Hey, G. Man. You know how I am, bro. Yeah, if I have any type of flaw in trading, it's because it's for me trading too small. Too small. I'm a big wimp in trading, which I think you should be. I think there's too much of a trading culture of just kind of YOLOing that, I'm just going to take huge sizing. I just made $57,000. Nah, man. Like, new traders don't need to hear that. New traders need to chill out. Trade small, scale down. Understand the range of stocks and understand that. Whoa. Nah, man. I can't deal with that today. It's not that listen, I love hip-hop. I listen to hip-hop and rap and all that good stuff. But, like, hey, it's not for my stream. And the reason it's not for my stream is because you can't have two people talking at once. You know what I mean? So I just try to stick with some fire beats and be okay with it. But yeah. Hey, thank you, Tom. I appreciate that, bro. I don't know. Man, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, listen, there's too much of a culture in trading of just encouraging these ridiculously huge gains that are just unnecessary. Like, as new traders especially, you need to trade small. And what I was going to say is that you need to understand that a $5 stock can have a larger range than a $50 stock. Okay, and that's an important understanding to have in the trading game. Again, a $5 stock can have a larger range than a $50 stock. All right, and so you need to analyze the ranges of these stocks. Do not use a universal share size. Whoa, is this a glitch? Look at the SPY. Whoa, something came out just now. The SPY, it might be a glitch. Let me look. Okay, so wholesale inventories just dropped in 20 minutes ago, but that shouldn't be influencing it now. This has got to be a glitch, maybe? Does anybody else see this on the SPY? Yeah, that's right. Somebody said, hey, new to this channel, can you explain why buying a few hundred shares is better than buying a few thousand? I mean, it's all subjective. It's all preference. It's all relative to what your account sizing and what your account size is, I should say. But it just depends. I think if you're a new trader, you do not want to have the mentality, well, like, I'm in this to make money. So, like, before I really show consistency, I'm still going to trade just super large. Wrong mentality, right? Show consistent profits first, and then you can scale up to whatever sizing you want to trade, as long as it's reasonable, to your account size. Then it's fine. But too many new traders get involved with trading, and they have the mentality of, well, I'm in this to make money. And so what do? Is they buy thousands of shares, and they end up just losing their account before they really gain any experience, before they really learn anything in the market. And then what do? They say, day trading's rigged, it's impossible, we can't be successful doing it because I lost money, and so I'm just gonna never day trade again. And that's a very common tale in trading, when the reality is you need to trade. If you're brand new, you need to buy freaking 50 shares, like me sometimes. And I'm not new, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is, don't be afraid to trade small, because that's the right move most of the time. And especially when you got a crazy move like AUVI here. Yeah, it depends on what you're doing. Like, if you've got, if you've got like a $2,000 account, right? And like, you don't care if you lose it, and you would rather, if you think you can get into a high probability trade and make some quick money with it and double or triple your account, hey, do you, man. I'm not mad at you for it, right? That's a reasonable plan, as long as that's your plan, right? But don't get into AUVI and trade huge and not plan to lose potentially as well, because, like I said, you can make a lot of money trading stocks like AUVI. The range is huge. You buy 1,000 shares of this thing in less than a minute, you could be up $1,000+, and so you can make money with it. But just like you could be up $1,000+ in less than a minute, in 30 seconds, you could be down $1,000 very quickly. And if you're trading a $2,000 account, that's 50% of your account. And so I guess what I'm trying to say, and I'm rambling on a little bit now, is just trade small. Don't be afraid to trade small. Don't let anybody pressure you to trade larger than you ultimately, need to trade. Yeah. Depends on the stock price. 100 stocks at $10 is the same as 1,000 at $1. Yeah, you should always use your account amount to size your trades. Yeah, for sure. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, stocks have different floats, right? They have different float sizes. They have different share amounts. They have different demand. And so with that said, it's all relative to the float, right? The float is the total amount of shares that are available to the public. And so with very small float stocks, they usually have large ranges because they're small float. There's not that many. If you buy 10,000 shares of a stock that has 500 million in the float, that 10,000 share position is not going to really influence that stock much at all, right? But if you buy 10,000 shares of a stock that has 500,000 in the float, as opposed to 500 million, that 10,000 share order might influence that stock some. And so that's why small float stocks on average have larger range relative to their price, is really what it is. But yeah, we're looking at some stuff here. We got S&P, we got MGEN. Y'all be careful. This one has at the market offering potential, so be careful here. We got SCKT gapping up some. I don't hate this one. I've already drawn some levels out on this one previously, and so we'll see what we get here with this. Yeah. I mean, listen, not to go on like a tangent here, but like, listen, there's a lot of different styles of trading. Like an experienced trader, I'll put it this way, right? You always hear, hey, I appreciate the sub, Calico, thank you, brother, I appreciate that. But yeah, hit that subscribe button, guys. You know you want to, everybody's doing it. But no, but what I was gonna say is that there's different plans here. Like you can, if you're planning on just kind of making a run at it with a small account, like if you're planning on taking a $1,000 or a $2,000 account and just swinging for the fences and trying to turn that 1 or 2K account into 10 or 20K, hey, listen, that's a plan. I'm not gonna tell you shouldn't, because listen, if you're a good enough trader, you can do that. Like you can do that. You'll still lose it a percentage of the time. But if you understand that, and that's your understanding, and you realize that, and you still choose to trade it like that, it's not necessarily gambling. It's betting on favorable probabilities. Because while you might, if you're a good enough trader, and most of you are not, no offense, I'm not. But if you're a good enough trader, while you might lose that account once, the next time you might actually hit it, and so it's still going to be a net profit play. But beginners aren't ready for that. And that's not what beginners should be focusing on. Like somebody said, beginners should be focusing on protecting the account, not doubling it. And that's accurate. Anyways, sorry for the tangent. So yeah, we're sitting at 350s for SCKT. The float of this one is 4.66 million, so a very small float for this one. MGEN is a little bit larger of a float at about 50 million here. So at about 50 million for MGEN, it's gapping up over 100%. At 111 or 112 now. It closed at 52 cents roughly, so from 52 all the way to 113 or 112 where it's sitting now. Interesting move, we'll watch it. We got CYH here, that one's boring. FLL, we got APTX looking all right, and then yeah, AUVI is really the main movers this morning. Hey, what's up, Bubba? Hey, thank you, brother. Alright, so yeah, so AUVI starting to break these highs here, team. AUVI starting to break these highs. I'm gonna take my sweater off. It's a little bit too warm now for me here. Alright, so yeah, we got AUVI here. We're gonna see what happens with this one. This one is gapping up nicely, breaking highs right now. The new high is 1270s. Let me draw out some levels for this specifically. We got 1240s, we got 11s here, looking all right. We got 950 here, looking good. But yeah, there's just so many levels here that you gotta just be careful trading this one. This one's huge range, and the float. Let me see what the float is of this. Yeah, the float is 1.3 million, so a tiny float, very, very small. And if you're just new to analyzing floats, anything under like, anything under like 50 million is considered a small float. If it's like 1 million, that's very small. You know, if it's like 500K, it's like the smallest you'll ever see. Like not necessarily, but like tiny. Most of the time, I'm looking at penny stocks that have floats between like 75 and you know 500,000, 75 million and 500,000. Yeah, for sure. Hey, y'all also do me a favor. Hit that like button, team. You know you want to. Everybody's doing it. Click that like button right now. We'll see what happens. I guess I'll go over the overall market movement as well and the overall market news, team. So we'll see what we get. 5 billion. I think I did draw him for MGN. So yeah, we rejected under the previous high here, and so we'll see what happens for AUVI. It's sitting at 1220s here. We'll wait and watch it, but it rejected at those previous highs. Yeah, the levels are already at MGEN, so like $1, 120 maybe, and then the pre-market high basically up there, 144s and 150s. That's basically it. Hey, what's up, Vinny? Yeah, bro. Hey, the market's slow today, bro. It is what it is. It'll be all right. So we're watching MGEN, but hey, it's a little bit slow. Let's go ahead and look at the overall market news. What? Oh my gosh, what is going on here, man? Is this Honey messing this thing up, man, bro? Get out of there. Okay. Let's try this again, man. Sorry, I'm trying to... Alright, there we go. We're logged in. Hey. Bro. I'm gonna have to disable Honey, dude. This thing's being a... Bro. Sorry guys, I'm trying to do something and like... Yeah, I gotta delete Honey, man. Remove, get out of here, bro. Alright, we're gonna have to... What's up, team? Hey, while I'm doing this right now, let me know your favorite stock in the market right now. Yeah, man, Honey, it's making my computer freeze. I had to disable that, bro. Some people know what I'm talking about. It's just screwing it up, bro. I don't know what's wrong with this. Like, I got a notification about my yeah. I got a notification about, like, my internet. And so I'm trying to log in to, like, see what's up. And, like, Honey just keeps crashing it every time I log in. I had to disable that thing, man. Oh, my gosh. So this is just literally Xfinity. Alright, let me look this up. Hey. Yeah, SCKT. Yeah, we'll watch it. Let's go ahead and look at the market news. I don't know what's up with Xfinity today, but hey. We do have a few numbers that came out today. Specifically, I'm going to read the market news, and this is just from MT Newswires, and it says, quote, stock futures are in negative territory as well amid a resurgence of COVID cases and uncertain U.S. national election. A lot of people, just to stop reading this for a second, a lot of people think that the reason the market has been so slow in this past week is because of the overall, kind of the overarching looming election here, right? So the election is looming up there. Everybody's a little bit uncertain about it. And so with that said, the market is kind of diving and being a little bit slow, especially, in some of the markets we're trading, I think. And I think a lot of people are waiting for after the election. But to go back to reading this, again, it says, quote, stock futures were in negative territory amid a resurgence of COVID cases in uncertain national election. A fiscal stimulus package from Washington has been stalled until after November 3rd general election, and investors are also digesting the latest slew of earnings report with Microsoft in focus after the tech giant posted better than expected financial results in the first quarter, with both top and bottom lines improving from the prior year period. On the economic calendar, the international trade in goods is going to be out at 8:30. That actually just released with USA wholesale inventories for September coming in at 0.1% versus the 0.5% expected. We also have Visa said Tuesday it agreed to acquire fintech firm Yellow Pepper for an undisclosed sum. Crude is up roughly 4%. The U.S. oil fund is down 3%. Natural gas is up 0.2%, and the U.S. Natural Gas Fund is around 0.1% lower. Gold is down 0.5%. The Spider Gold Trust is down 0.4%. Silver is down 1%, and the iShares Silver Trust is down 0.9%. That's basically it today. I don't see anything else that looks super significant here. Yeah, so here's a fun fact. October 28th is technically and statistically specifically the best trading day of the year. So statistically speaking, October 28th historically has been the best trading day of the year. Man, that's a lot of big words thrown in there. Man, I'm capping over here. But no, so October 28th historically and statistically is the best trading day of the year, but that's not what we're necessarily seeing. We'll see though. I'm sure they're just using the average gains or losses made on each specific day. I'm not going to start talking about politics. All I know is that Trump completely lacks discretion and Biden is senile. That's all I know. That's all I'm saying. Who knows? It's my speculative opinion. Don't hate me. But yeah, the SPY is crucially down here. We'll see what happens. We're going to watch it. Maybe we'll get some futures action today. Another one that's showing up on the scanners is BTBT. Nothing really. Hey, this is like my stock. It's BTBT. I'm going to change my name from beginner trading. No, man, I don't want to listen to this. Why is it throwing that stuff out here, man? I gotta add some of these songs to my list and then just keep them on my list so it doesn't keep doing this. Actually, honestly, we got a lot of compliments on my old playlist, and so I'm probably gonna play my old playlist again today. You guys seem to really like it the last few days. Yeah, there we go. All right, so yeah, we're gonna go down to the old playlist. Let me know what you guys think of these. Left, right wing, yeah, for sure. They're all the same, man. We got CVEO here. Yeah, honestly, my goal is to not root for a political party like it's a football team. That's my goal. Because I think when you start to do that, you just have a lot of bias that never gets checked, and it ends up just being toxic on both sides. And so I dislike both sides pretty evenly, honestly. If you guys know me, you probably know that already. I'm sure there's a lot of puns to be had here, but here's Moho. Moho, not really much volume, but it is showing up on the gap scanners here. Was that a bad joke? It might have been. But yeah, main watch today is really AUVI, MGEN, SCKT, and that's it. So we'll see what happens here. Hey, what's up, Fuhad? What's up, brother? I'm probably trading the Emini, Zach. Probably the Emini. But I'm not 100% sure yet, but probably the Emini. I don't know. I'm just, like I said, it just depends, man, on what kind of action we get. I traded yesterday. If we look into my futures game here, like, you can see my stats here, and this is like, Hey, you know what feels good, man? Like, look at this. This is why I know I'm gonna be successful in futures. You know, it's because, like, look, this is taken directly from Top Step trading. These are my stats for Top Step futures. Like, these are my stats. Hey, it feels good. My favorite stat is honestly right here. Look at this. 100% winning days out of 9. So I've traded 9 days in this Top Step combine. 100% of them have been green. I have not lost at all one day. And of course I've lost in trades, individual trades, but like on a daily basis, no losses. You know, no losses. You know, I've had one reset, but that's my graph, team. Hey, it feels good. Let's see what we get, but we're still pushing. We're still making our money in it. And my worst day, I made $46. 46 bucks. And I think that was like the day before yesterday, really. We got ASTC here, and so we're going to trade some futures today. If you want to know how I'm doing that, go check out the futures videos I drop. I break down the strategies pretty thoroughly in those videos. But yeah, like I said, AUVI, MGEN, and SCKT are my 3 main watches today. They're usually these are all the stocks with the best volume, but we're gonna have to wait and see if we get anything significant that looks good that we could trade with these. $100%, Bobby. 100%, man. Right there with you, bro. Hey, I appreciate that, Marlon. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, like I said, it feels good because, like, you know, no matter what anybody wants to say, right? Like, these stats that I'm showing you are built directly into the platform I'm using, so there's no Photoshop capabilities here. And really, if anybody thinks it's Photoshop, like I said, if anybody really thinks it's Photoshop, I'll just log in and show you guys here, too. Let me see. And so, like, look, this month, what'd I do? Oh, we have to, yeah, I mean, this is my graph, you know, over the last month, or over the last 9 days. Like, that's my graph. And so we're still working our way on getting funded, but hey, it's been a really good run. The most I was ever down in this is $75. So, yeah, I think I found my rhythm, certainly. I do think I need to tighten it up a little bit on, I think I need to tighten it up a little bit in, like, my losses. I do think I need to tighten up my losses a little bit, but, you know, very profitable graph so far, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, SCKT, MGEN, and AUVI, my 3 main watches today. We'll see what happens. Again, this is SCKT. This is AUVI. AUVI is pulling back some. Looking at the moving average for this, averages for this. Hey, what's your strat for futures? Looks like you do pretty well with them. So I made a few videos about them, and really, I'll post 3 videos. I'm gonna post 3 videos so you guys could see, like, these 3 videos are basically my entire range of future strategies. I do think there is kind of an element, though, and I will say this, like, I think anytime you get really good at trading, right, I do believe there's some type of, like, flow state that you find yourself into, to where even though I might not trade these strategies exactly like I talked about, like, there's kind of a flow state when you can kind of see how a stock's moving and profit from that movement. It's very hard to explain. A lot of the time I'm actually using the level 2 as well on, like, the SPY, but it's a little bit of a flow state where you see the orders add up, you see the price movement on the level 2 and the chart, and you can just kind of predict what's going to happen, you know. And it's hard to explain, to be honest, but it comes from watching the market every day, if I'm being honest. It comes from watching the market every day. But yeah, here's a video. I'll post a few videos breaking down, like, these are the strategies I'm really using. This video titled "The Top Scalping Strategies That Actually Work" is mostly the strategies I'm using. And so I wasn't lying in that video when I said these strategies legitimately work, because they certainly do. But here's one of them. Yeah, there's one of them. And then, you know, go check out the latest one. Um, if the crossover happens just before the bell, do you think it's strong? I mean, I don't trade it, but I've seen them work as with regard to like whether the crossover actually works before the bell or after. I've seen them work before the bell, but I've never actually tested them before the bell, and I've never actually traded them, you know, specifically before the bell. So I've seen them work, but I can't say for sure, to be honest. I really don't know. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like I said, you guys know me. If I don't know something, I usually just say I don't know, and this is one of those things where I really genuinely just don't know. I've never tested it, to be honest. DSS. I mean, DSS, it depends on what you consider a crash. I mean, it certainly didn't hold, you know, but whether it crashed, I don't know, not necessarily. It's just a little pullback. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. It's a penny stock. Most of these fail, and you never really know, but hey, this one might run. Who knows? But yeah, AUVI pulling back here, breaking under that lemon area. Looks kind of weak, so we'll see what happens with this as well. Hey, I appreciate that, Sakib. Thank you, brother. I'm feeling all right, Sam. Yeah, like I said, I talked to the people earlier in the stream a little bit. Like, I actually had to go to the ER yesterday. My wife made me go, if I'm being honest, because I'm one of those people that would just put off going to the doctor for way too long, you know. And so until my wife is like, "Yo, you got to go, bro," I went, and they took my blood sugar, and my blood sugar was a little bit high. It was like 140, right? But again, it might just be because I'm sitting in bed eating cereal all day because I'm constantly nauseous, you know, and so I can't really like get out of bed because I'm always nauseous, right? And so that's plausible, but it wasn't high enough to be considered like pre-diabetes or diabetes. But I'm fasting right now. This is actually the first time I'm drinking coffee in months, because I'm supposed to go get my blood sugar checked again. Right after today's stream, I'm gonna have to go get my blood sugar checked, and so we'll see how it is then. But yeah, I feel a little bit better. I've honestly felt a lot better since I was put on back on the proton pump inhibitor, the pantoprazole. I don't know what it's called. It's like omeprazole, but it's some type of PPI. And I'm hoping, like, best case scenario is that it's just the rebound effect that I felt the last week from stopping the PPI abruptly, which is plausible. I was on it for a few months, and when you stop it, it does cause a rebound effect. And so I'm hoping that's just what it is, but I don't really know. You know what I mean? Oh, we also have GE, General Electric, which is gapping up some today. Let me look at the catalyst for this. The very large float stock at 8.7 billion in the float, so a huge float for GE. It's not generally what I trade, just because the float is so large and the range is so small that it's just not really my style per se. But GE is up because they put out something that said they reported better than expected third quarter EPS and sales results is the reason GE is up. And so positive third quarter results for GE, and we'll watch it, but again, the float is huge, and so it's not really my style per se for penny stock trading. AUVI is still dropping. It's down to 1060s here, and we can watch 1050, see if it's going to bounce at 1050 to $0.50, which it is. So we'll see what happens there. No, I never drank coffee last week. I'm mostly just drinking tea in the morning, so I'm drinking green tea mostly. So I'm mostly getting, hey, what's up, the best? I'm mostly getting nauseous, like, right when I first wake up. Mostly right when I wake up, you know. It's, like, mostly right when I wake up, but it's also throughout the day. Like, if I eat, I get nauseous, too. Yeah, that might be true. Yeah. I get nauseous when I wake up as well. Yeah, I don't know why. Got surgery on what though? You know what I mean? Like, what'd you get? What'd you actually have surgery on? It could be a hiatal hernia as well. It could be a bunch of different stuff, man. I'm still trying to figure it out. But yeah, I have an endoscopy actually planned for next week that I have to do. I'm a little bit nervous about it, to be honest. The last time I was put under was when I got my tonsils taken out when I was like 7. So I haven't been put under anesthesia or anything like that in, you know, years and years, like 20 something years. But yeah, AUVI bouncing a little bit at 1050. I think 1050 is kind of the line in the sand for this one, and we'll watch it. Obviously, we're still keeping an eye on MGEN. I think 111 has a lot of confirmations here for this one as well now, so we'll watch that 110 level, really. SCKT. Got some movement here as well, so we'll watch this one. Nothing's really setting up for the crossover. It's to the point where I don't even have really... nothing too great right now, to be honest. We got MGEN, AUVI, and mostly it's just going to be a scanner day. I don't really see anything else that looks good to me right now. XSPA maybe. CVEO maybe. OPTT kind of. Hey, I'll try it. I don't know, Sammy. I don't know why it's not on the gap list, bro. Yeah, it was probably a hiatal hernia, Chuck, which is what I'm concerned about as well. A hiatal hernia. It's either, I don't know if you pronounce it hiatal or haitial. It could be either one, but it might be a I think that's the most likely conclusion. I talked to my dad, and my dad said he actually has a hiatal hernia. It's just something that I guess genetic. But they don't go away on their own. There's nothing you could really do about them except have surgery. And so it depends on... My dad said it depends on what he eats. Like, I love peanut butter and jelly, but I've noticed it's worse after I eat like nuts or PB&Js, right? And so, you know, who knows? Hey, listen, we got 3 minutes, guys. Let's do this. No, I feel you, MAP. You're right, brother. Like, that's what I've been trying to do. It's hiatal. Okay, yeah. Appreciate it. Hey, yeah, y'all hit that like button, team. We need 8 more likes in the next 3 minutes, guys. I know you want to. Everybody's doing it. Hit that like button. You know you want to. All right, guys. Hey, we got 2 minutes. Let's do this. Hey guys, let's do this, team. We got about a minute left. I'm gonna start getting everything ready here. Let's try to make some money today. Hey, the last time I had a losing day was last Thursday or Wednesday, so we're on a nice little green streak today. It's been about a week, but that was the only losing day that I've had in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I've only had one loss, or one losing day, I should say. SCKT starting to pop off here too. Man, why does it do this, bro? Like, you see how many freaking look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Man. I thought I saved it the correct way yesterday. Hey, listen, we got less than a minute, guys. Let's do this. There's that. All right, guys. Let's do this, team. Hey, appreciate that, Grant. Welcome, brother. Appreciate the love, dude. All right, guys, let's do this. We got 15 seconds. Market's about to ring. Let's do it. All right, here's the bell, guys. Good luck. SCKT popping off here. SCKT making some moves. We got AUVI dropping down some, but we're going to watch that one as well. See if we get like a red to green move specifically at the opening bell. We got OPTT. We got AUVI trying to make a move here. MGEN falling down some. You know, we're watching that. Nothing on the scanners yet, but SCKT is pulling back some. We can watch that here. We're at 370s now. 370s for SCKT. MGEN is showing up on the scans. And we're pushing up a little bit here, but y'all be careful. This one does have ATMs. And so we'll see what happens here with this. Here's MGEN. Sitting at 119s, guys. Let's see what it does. The market itself is kind of break even right now. Am I frozen? Is my thinkorswim frozen? Okay, no. It froze for a second. It certainly did. I'm looking at SNMP here. SNMP maybe. If we can get like a red to green move there. Watching that. CVEO. Nothing too crazy yet. AUVI dropping some. MGEN is really the only one on my scanners, and this is it right here. So we'll see what we get. Hey, no, I'm back. My thinkorswim's working fine now. But yeah, MGEN is the only one that's really showing up on my list today. SNMP though, guys, look at SNMP. We get a red to green move here, I might attack it. I might, just because there's enough extension away from the VWAP for me to want to kind of attack it here. So we'll see though. I'm also looking at AUVI. RNWK and Cat B showing up on the scanners. Maybe this one, but we'll see. Nothing really popping off in penny stocks today, team, so y'all be careful. I'm looking at AUVI. It might be pulling a red to green move. Maybe. I am in XSPA with 200 shares. 200 shares here. We're getting a little bit of a red to green move, and I like the range here, so we might add a little bit more here as well if we get something good, but we're going to wait for it. I like this. We're going to jump in a few more shares here. No fill. Try to get filled. Alright, we're in with 350 shares right now. 350 shares. We're going to try to add some to this one as it continues to make this move here. And a little bit of a pullback that we could watch. Alright, so yeah, we're in XSPA. There's 08s. 07s. Yeah, probably gonna have to bail out of this real quick. Yeah, we're out of this thing. Are you serious right now? See, this is why we need to have a market order. Are you serious? Oh my gosh, man. Okay, thanks, Thinkorswim. Yeah, we're down 1250. Not a huge loss, and we still got a bunch of equity. But yeah, this thing's acting weird. Maybe we might attack this one on the way back up, though. We're still watching it. But yeah, I need to put market orders just for these weird situations like this. PEIX. We actually had somebody ask me about this one. I forgot to go over it. PEIX is popping up here. So I'm still waiting here. I don't really see anything that looks good. Maybe MGEN. This one doesn't have enough volume here for PEIX. Maybe MGEN. We'll see. But it's got to break out of this range, really. And I'm not sure if it's going to yet. Hey, what's up, Richard? Hey, what's up, Han? Yeah, I think there's some lagging for sure. I ended green. I ended green yesterday. Jorge, or George, whichever one it is. Yeah, I ended green. Barely. It was like a small break-even day, though. But, hey, we'll take it. Yeah, a lot of people saying that Thinkorswim's causing issues today, and I can kind of see that. Yes, grow up, I could see. It was a potential red to green move, so somebody, so I see you asking about my thought process for XSPA. It was a potential red to green move, so I was just kind of getting in with a small share size on it. So you could see it dropped originally, and then it broke this high, and I thought we might get the crossover. So it was really just the crossover setup. It just didn't quite follow through with it, which is okay, and it might still push up, but it's a small loss starting out, and it's a cheap stock as well. But yeah, it was a potential red to green crossover that we just didn't get. SNGX showing up on the scans, but nothing. Honestly, I don't see anything right now. MGEN tanking down here. Shout out to my man Mordecai for warning me about this one. Just so sideways today, team. Such a dull day. TTMP? Eh. Yeah, I think I gotta slow it down because I think we're having issues with Thinkorswim again. WEI? We got SUPV showing up. Yeah, WEI is making some moves. Just broke over that previous closing price. Looks alright. Not really my style, but hey, we'll watch it. I'm also watching AUVI, but it's, you know, we'll see. WEI making some moves. SUPV. Hey, thank you, Nikki. I appreciate the sub. Y'all be like them. Hit that subscribe button. You know you want to. Everybody's doing it. Hit that subscribe button. Click the bell. Turn on notifications. I appreciate the support, team. I really do. S&MP falling down. XSPA falling down. KERN. Yeah, very slow day, though, guys. So just be careful. SCKT. Yeah, hey, if this one starts to reverse, it doesn't look bad. It's just this opening move was so drastic that it's a little bit extended still, even for me, but we'll watch it. We're watching it. We'll see if we get it. AUVA might be pulling a crossover. We're watching CATB, but this one's not bad. OPTT maybe. I might take a little bit of OPTT. Just depends. Too small of a range actually here. Hey, thank you for the subscribe, Steve. Welcome, man. Appreciate it. Thank you, bro. But yeah, slow day so far. Nothing that I see that honestly looks good at all. Yeah, I mean, AUVI, I mean, it's starting to try to head back up, but we'll see what happens. Not loving anything right now. Most of the stuff is actually red today, and you can even tell by the scanners. TTNP is just not really my style. Not a bad move, though, honestly, for TTNP if you like these really cheap penny stocks. Honestly, this was actually a nice little red to green move. Huge rip, though, for this one. We'll see what happens, but a big drop now for TTNP. Huge rip. CATP. Yeah, there goes AUVI. Nothing too crazy right now, I'm honestly seeing. The SPY might be breaking high, so I might get involved with futures if we see something. OPTT is the only one I'm kind of considering right now. I'm kind of considering it. Cat B is looking okay. We'll see what happens, but we're watching that one as well. CATB. MARA, if it starts to push back up, we're keeping an eye on that. Like, if this thing can push back up and break 250s, we'll take a little bit of it. Maybe. Maybe is the key word there. Yeah, for sure. It's been a little dull, for sure. It's definitely, certainly been a little bit boring of a market the last week or two. But hey, we found ourselves green, and so that's about all I can really ask in this market. You know what I mean? I like this old playlist though. I haven't listened to this playlist in a long time. AUVI crashed. I'm still looking at MARA. If this thing can push up and break like this high right here at 250s, I might get interested in it. Maybe. Maybe. Keyword is maybe. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with this one yet. OPTT didn't look that bad. CVEO kind of, you know, not terrible. Mara is still trying to push up. CATB is the only one that looks good on the scans right now. But even it's a little boring, to be honest. But MARA is the main one. What else we got? I don't see much. Let's see, I like this song. So yeah, I'm kind of waiting for Mara to move back up if we can. Alright, my OBS just died real quick. I don't know why. But we're back, I guess. The SPY itself, like the actual market, BGFV showing up on the scans. This one doesn't look too bad, but it's not really my style, and it's kind of expensive. I'm in like TTNP a little bit, but I've been kind of scaling in and out of this one, but nothing too exciting, to be honest. We're waiting to see if this one can break. Shout out to Zane for dropping this one on me, but we're up slightly in it, but nothing to write home about, to be honest. We're going to try to let it hold over 21 cents. We've kind of gone back and forth, but I tried to scale into it up to this 21 level, and I was just in a small position so far, and I scaled out some, but I didn't get the best entry, so we'll see what we get. But I'm going to let this 500 shares hold, and then maybe add some more if we can break 23s is kind of the plan, and then my risk is 21 or so. Because really, I don't mind it consolidating here. I really don't mind it consolidating like this, but it eventually needs to make the pop that we're looking for over 23s, and so we can use that 21 level or so as a risk. And then just hop out on the bid if it starts to break, roughly break even is the plan right now. And like, we could let it consolidate here, but might add some size back into it if we want. Don't mind this little dip buy, but I got to use roughly 21 cents as a risk, and we're about break even now, so kind of a dull trade. I like the range, and I like the movement, but I think we have to risk right here, which we're about to have to get out right around 21, like right here. Hopefully Thinkorswim doesn't mess up again today. Or right now. Because it did kind of screw me over a little bit this morning, but nothing super bad. But let's wait. We're right at my risk. I'm probably going to have to... Yeah, there we go. We're going to have to get out. Nope. Okay. Alright, this is why I mark it out. Alright, so yeah, this is why I mark it out, guys, to be honest. Like, people ask me why I use a market order. This is why I use a market order. It's because even if you're trying to get out on the bid, even if you are right on it, if it's dropping too fast, you're not going to be able to exit. But yeah, 2 small losses today so far. Nothing too crazy, but definitely a slow day. We still got a bunch of equity because, I mean, let's be honest, we haven't traded much. But it's just been slow, you know. It's just been dull and slow. Not too much action going on. Why did the music stop? There we go. Yeah, this is a super dope song. Check this song out. There we go. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, honestly, Sandy, I'm not really trying to give out picks. Like, I'm not trying to give out picks for people to copy. You know, that's not really what I'm trying to do. Mostly, all I'm trying to do is teach people my system and process behind it, you know. So, you know, I don't really want people to copy me. I know it's kind of different than a lot of other traders, but I don't really want people to copy me, you know. Because, and I think, I don't know, we could vote on it. Would you guys rather have trade ideas, or would you rather have no delay? Because, like, I'll listen. I mean, whatever you guys want. I've been getting good views, so I don't really want to mess with, like, a good thing. WEI. Market breaking down. I might hop in the futures market real quick if we get something. Yeah, nothing's holding. Nothing's really running. Let me make sure I can trade. I gotta make sure there's no, economic releases right now. Okay. Crude oil inventory report. That was at 9:30, so we're done with that. I appreciate it, Sage. No delay. Follow your heart. I'm trying, man. DGLY showing up with the scans, though. DGLY. I might start to trade some futures, team. Yeah, DGLY doesn't look bad, realistically. Nothing else. I mean, AUVI, if it starts to squeeze back up. But, like, everything's just really boring right now. This one's not terrible, but, like, Digital Ally, I've traded it so much. I might start to tap on the futures market a little bit, if I can. Just trade 1 or 2 contracts here. Hey, we're watching it under 331.50 in the futures market. Come on, get me out. Alright, so we just made a $37 scalp. It looked like a $37 scalp. Yeah, $33 scalp. So we made a little bit of bank there really quickly on the futures market. This is what we took advantage of. Very similar play. You'll see me trade this one every day, right? Very similar thing to what I do every day. Just caught this breakdown on the lows. It's a little bit extended and hard to see. But we just caught this little breakdown. Once we broke lows, we just scalped this little quick little scalp down, or a quick little move down. And it was profitable. I mean, hey, we'll take it, you know. AUVI, guys. AUVI is making moves. Look at AUVI here. So AUVI is making moves. Look at this squeeze up. So we did get a red to green move. We are getting the crossover play. I don't know if I want to trade it, but hey, I gotta analyze the range. It's a little bit too large of a range. The SPY is breaking down here as well, so I'm trying to catch everything. But AUVI, guys, is starting to push. So we are getting some strength coming in. We did break the highs, and now we are moving up some. The SPY itself is breaking lows now. The SPY itself is breaking lows, and so we'll see about that too. AUVI pulling back some. We still got DGLY on the list. Alright. Alright, I'm in CVEO with a little bit. Oof. Getting hammered here for CVEO. Yeah, I think I just gotta get out. So I took a $15 loss on CVEO. That's probably all. I'm done trading that one, certainly. AUVI did pop up, but we're squeezing down now. So yeah, let me see what I'm down today. Yeah, rough day. I'm down like 30 bucks. No fun, but hey, it is what it is. DGLY, it looks okay. I think I'm just pushing too hard in a super slow market. I might just transition to futures trading. But we still got MGEN. Hey, if MGEN starts to fight its way back, I don't hate that either, you know. And so we're watching it, but I don't want to push too hard and just cause a bigger loss. Yeah, I think I'm just pushing a little bit too hard because I'm bored. Is realistically what I'm doing with CVEO. It's alright, I lost 15 bucks on it. Relatively small size, and you know, I think the volume was just too light, unfortunately, for me on that one. ASTC. Yeah, we can look at ASTC. I might just transition to futures, though. This is one of those days where the volume is just so light. ASTC, honestly, I wish I would have seen this one, because this one's really not too bad. I don't hate this pullback. The pre-market high is like right here at 240s for ASTC, so that's really not that bad. Yeah, MGEM had an ATM. Yeah, MGEN had an ATM hidden that people didn't know about. I'm glad I got on a CVEO though. Definitely saved myself with that one. Saved myself some money. That could have been rough. I need to get my risk-reward ratio into acceptable ranges. Honestly, I'm not getting in the best risk-reward trades today for sure. So I don't know if I'm the best person to give you advice right now. Everything is crashing. Hey, it's just slow, bro. It's just a slow day. And it is what it is. It's just not a super voluminous day. So most stuff, nothing's holding. Nothing too crazy. It's just one of those days where you got to scale down and take it slow. MGEN. Yeah, MGEN, I mean, it's still got a long ways to go for that one to look good at all for me. You know what I mean? WEI? I don't know. We can look at WEI. Nah, that one's boring too. Like I said, I'm slowing it down. SRRK. What is this? Breaking highs. Well, the SPY is tanking for sure. Certainly, the actual stock market is tanking, but that's about it, you know. And so, like, the SPY is tanking, you know what I mean? But like, that's it, you know. This is a dope song. I think this is the song I was talking about. MGN might be fighting back too. We'll see. We're waiting for it. That's the only one that I might trade if we do trade anything today is MGEN. Maybe. You know. But like nothing looks good. Everything's slow. I'm probably gonna stop trading penny stocks. MGN, if MGN breaks 120, I might trade it. That's like probably the only one. For the people talking about the SPY itself, here's the SPY. Right, and the SPY's certainly dropping, and this is what I'm mostly shorting futures. Shorting the futures market if we can like find something like favorable enough for me to short. Is mostly what I'm looking at for that. But like, if not, I'm just gonna slow it down certainly, because I think sometimes some days are just not the favorable days to trade, you know? And like, we might trade some futures. Here's the SPY. Like, if we break under 330.90, I might short that. Yeah, it happens. Every one of my stocks I'm in are down. Not a single one is up. Yeah, hey, bro, listen. It's just one of those days. That's why, like, sometimes if the market's not doing me right, I just transition to futures. You know? And, like, I think that's probably what I'm going to do, even though it's a tough, kind of a gnarly day here. You know? I'm still looking at Mara, maybe Mara. Here's the SPY itself. Let me see if I can jump in the futures game right now. Here's the SPY breaking that low. We're gonna see if we can short into it. I'm up a little bit in futures. All right, there we go. We're in. We're in. All right, we're out. All right, so we did nail a little bit of a short there. Let's see. We are up $55 in futures. Not too bad here. All right, market's still tanking, so maybe I should have held on to that one a little bit more. But like I said, guys, SPY broke the 330.80 level, and we're shorting into that. I'm trading the Emini. Yeah, hey, like I said, penny stocks, I got beat up today. You know, it's my first losing day in a week, and so my account can handle it, but like I got beat up certainly today in penny stocks. It's inevitable though, like some days are just gonna be nasty, and like those were today. But it is what it is. That's why it's good to always find like a different instrument to trade if you're not having good results in one. And I'm down like 35 bucks in futures or in pennies, and so I'm switching to futures, and I'm up a little bit in futures, and we're just gonna try to grind this up, you know. We're still watching the SPY itself. Like, if the SPY bounces to 330.80, I might short it back into it, but we'll see. All right, so there's the bounce to 330.80. Here's the SPY itself. And, like, just to show you guys a little better picture of it, let me see if I can... Yeah, there we go. So, like, I'm looking at this level here as resistance. So we're looking at, like, this 330.90 level as resistance to see if that holds and rejects is what we're gonna look at. It might be a little bit too late though. There it is. I was calling it out, and there it is. I missed it. So close. Called it out. Exactly what I wanted to happen, and nothing. We just didn't get it. I've got about 5K, Mike. I haven't looked at your futures vid yet, but do you have to have a certain amount to get in? So basically, I'm using a funded account program for futures. And so, man, the SPY did exactly what I talked about, too. Look at that bounce and then that rejection. Exactly what I talked about. But no, so I'm using a funded account program for futures called Top Step. And the way it works is, like, you pay for, it's a subscription-based program, and it's going to teach you how to be a better trader, in my opinion. But you basically have to prove that you're profitable so you can get funded as a proprietary trader, right? And so what I do is I have to prove myself and hit a profit target. I think my profit target is 3K, and I'm about a third of the way there. But the base package, I think the profit target is 2K. And so if you can make 2K in your futures account, then they fund you as a proprietary futures trader. And so once you do that, once you actually show them that you're profitable, they fund you 30K, right? And so the base one's 30K. I'm using the 50K one. So once I actually hit that 3K level, they're going to fund me 50K. And I think the profit split for both of them is 80%. And so if you make $1,000, once you're actually funded, and this is like a legit funded account program, it's the most legit one I've ever used. It's the highest reviewed one I've ever used, and it's the cheapest one I've ever used. But once you actually hit that target, they fund you depending on the package you have, right? So I have the 50K package. They're going to fund me 50K once I actually hit that profit target. If I had the 30K one, they would fund me 30K, right? And so once I'm actually funded, then I get to kind of trade with them as a proprietary futures trader. And if you're not used to the futures market, it's honestly super simple. It's really not bad. They allow you to do a bunch of different stuff. And so, you know, there's Forex as well. So Top Step has Forex programs if you want to get involved with Forex too. And so there's a bunch of different options as proprietary traders in futures and Forex. But it's a cheap way to get funded, and if you don't have that much money and you're looking for, you know, if you only have a few $100, I think this is one of the best ways to spend it because it's going to teach you how to be a better trader. At the same time, though, I am biased in their favor because I make a commission if you guys sign up, and so try to be transparent with that as well. But if you want to check it out, help support your boy here. There's the link. Hey, but how about the Khabib fight? Hey, bro, I'm telling you, man, I talked about it before the fight. Khabib is the GOAT, man. He's the GOAT. People could say John Jones is the GOAT, and I think Jones is certainly number 2. I think the steroid pops, I think the fact that Jones popped for steroids makes him get out of that. You know, if you fail for steroids, you know, I don't think you can be the GOAT. And I think Khabib is the most dominant. I think Jones lost his last 2 fights as well and was gifted the decisions and hasn't had a finish in years. And so with that, you know, I don't know. I used to think Jones was the GOAT. After Khabib, I think Khabib's the GOAT. And I think people hate on Khabib just for his religion alone, but I think it's clear he's one of the most dominant fighters there's ever been, for sure. So I trade the ES as the symbol, right? It's the ES is usually what I trade. But yeah, it depends. Like, you could trade crude, you could trade cattle prices, you could trade Forex, you could trade gold, silver, all that stuff on Top Step. Yeah, WE. Yeah, like I said, I'm not even looking at penny stocks anymore. So I know we got a bunch of people here that are into penny stocks. There's just nothing looked good today. And if I keep pushing in the market today, I'm going to lose more. These are one of those days where you have to have the discipline enough to stop yourself, because if you get frustrated and you just kind of keep tapping away, you're gonna lose. So y'all be careful. Only reason I don't like Top Step, yeah, but it's a challenge though, and you can reset. I think most people are gonna have to reset a few times. I think that if you're failing challenges like that, then you're being a little bit too risky. But I think everybody's gonna fail it at least once. At the same time, though, I still think it's so cheap relative to other funded account programs that it makes a lot of sense. Like, no offense to Toro, but I was on Toro before with like mid and high caps, and Toro was like $2.99 a month plus data. Worse profit split, worse, less favorable conditions. It's just, Top Step is the highest reviewed. I think it's the most legit one I've used, to be honest. But that's subjective as well. Nah, Jones is the truth, Infinite. Like, don't think I'm hating on Jones, because I'm not. I think Jones is the truth, man. I think Jones is a beast, and he's certainly up there in that GOAT status area. But I think because he popped for steroids, and because he also, in my opinion, lost his last fight, especially against Dominic Reyes, I think that Jones just can't be the GOAT, unfortunately. And I think Khabib has been dominant in every single fight he's ever been in. He's only lost one round in his entire career, and he's faced the truth in the division. And so I think that, it is what it is. What if you pay for the program and lose? Do you lose the money? Yes. Well, if you pay for the program and lose, then, if you pay for the program and lose, then you can reset for $100, I think is what it is. But again, you got to think about it. Like, the base package is $130 if you use my link. So it's super cheap relative to a lot of these other funded account programs. And so I think when you add in how cheap it is, and you'll probably have to reset. Let's say you have to reset once. Like, I had to reset mine once. But it's $230, and that's cheaper than most of the other funded account programs I'm using. And it is possible. Like I said, really good platform. There's no commissions, although there are some fees. Here's my trading today. No losses yet. But I think you got to put the big picture in there, which is that it's the cheapest I've seen. Sorry. Whoa. So you have an unlimited time, Rob Roy, but it is a monthly subscription. Here, sorry, let me get some. All right, there we go. Yeah, for sure. Who are your favorite traders? I don't really look up to traders like that, brother. I think that the trading world is so competitive. Like, I think, like, especially like on YouTube, like, I think the trading world is on YouTube is so competitive that everybody just kind of hates the other ones. You know what I mean? And I think that's accurate. I think like, as a YouTuber myself, and as a decent sized YouTuber, I would say, especially in the day trading space, I think that it's so competitive that, like, there's very few collaborations in the trading space. Everybody's trying to act like they're the best, and I think in the end, most of the time, it causes a lot of people to just be a little phony in their trading, you know what I mean? So it's hard to know who to really trust in the trading space, and that's why it's like, I'm very open about, like, one thing I want to do here with this channel is, like, listen, I'm very open about the fact that, like, I am not an expert, and I certainly lose sometimes, and it is what it is. Like I said, I don't have to, the reason I don't sell anything, the reason I don't sell a course, and the reason I don't sell a service is because I don't want that standard to live up to. I don't want that expectation of like I have to show every trade I get into, or I have to always be green, or that I can never make a mistake, because if I make a mistake, everybody's just gonna pile on and say, John made this mistake, that's a bad trade, blah, 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 blah. And like I said, traders are usually insecure, and so that does happen, certainly. And so I would rather just give everything to everybody for free and not have to worry about living up to that standard. Hey, and listen, if I want to trade off stream, I'm going to trade off stream. I could lose every day for a week in a row, and nobody can tell me anything because I don't sell anything, and I'm just very honest and open. And I just want to be a resource for traders, because I think there's so much nonsense in the trading space. There's so much BS. There's so much phoniness and nonsense and hyper competitive traders here, that it just makes it a super toxic environment, to be honest. And I would rather just give everything to everybody for free, teach people the strategies in my own systems, and hey, if they appreciate them and if they work for them, great. And if they don't, that's okay too, because it's all free, and like that's how I choose to be. And I think I don't know if there's any other traders like me in the trading space, but I think I'm trying to do it the right way. And it's part of it is selfish as well. Like I don't want to it's easier for me to trade if I don't have that standard to live up to, Nah, Henry is certainly not the GOAT. I'll see. It depends, Sage. Who knows, brother? Nah, Cejudo certainly is not the GOAT, man. Cejudo, here's the problem. Cejudo's won how many, Cejudo's won, like 3 belts, man? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Cejudo beat Johnson, but rightfully so. Even in flyweight, Johnson's the GOAT of flyweight. Just because Henry beat TJ doesn't mean he's the GOAT, man. Like, he hasn't even he doesn't even close to have the resume. Sure, he's a 2-division champ or whatever, but like, in the end, he's certainly not the GOAT, and I think that he doesn't have the record to be the GOAT. He just hasn't been as dominant. Like, Khabib has been dominant 24/7. Cejudo lost a bunch, and so Cejudo's certainly not the GOAT. Not sure if I'm getting older. And hey, listen, guys, I'm done trading pennies. I might trade futures. Might. Depends. Like, we break 3,320. Here, hold on. Hey, I'm out. All right, so yeah, I'm up $88 today. Another green trade in futures. I hope you guys can see how I'm kind of sniping these trades, right? I'm not trading 24/7. I'm not trading constantly, but in futures, I'm just sniping. I'm waiting for the best trades. I'm waiting for these setups. And when I get them, I take them very quickly and I get out. And that is why I'm as accurate as I am in futures. This is what I attacked. Here's the SPY. I waited for this momentum break. I got it at 330.20. I scalped it for 15 seconds, and I got out. And I made my money, and I'm done. And I might trade again. But hey, that's how you do it. And I'm working my way on getting funded here. 100% accuracy today, 100% accuracy yesterday. And so, hey, listen, average trade time is 6 seconds. But listen, hey, it is what it is. I can make money, 100% accuracy. This is my last month of trading. I'm running at around 67% accuracy, which is fine with me. If you consider the break-even trades, really, I'm running at about 70%. But look at these graphs, man. I'm telling you, listen, the strategies I'm using, they certainly work. They certainly work. Yeah. Nah, I love Mark Hunt, but he's certainly not the GOAT. And yeah, like I said, guys, listen, if you guys want to leave the stream, that's cool. I'm mostly just going to be kind of BSing with you guys now because I'm done trading pennies. I might trade futures, but I'm just waiting for the setups to be there. If you guys got any trading questions you want to ask me, hey, hit me up with them. I'll answer them. But But I'm just going to BS with you guys, talk about UFC, talk about the fights, talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. And I'm just going to hang out because, listen, you know, penny stocks, I'm beat up. And today, futures, I'm killing it. And you know, it is what it is. So what are futures? Futures, think about futures like this, right? Most trading types and niches are self-explanatory using their name, right? So options trading is trading on the option to buy a specific stock at a certain price, right? It's the option to buy a certain stock at a certain price. And so if you think a stock's going to go up in a month from now, you buy the option to buy that stock in a month from now at a set price. You know, and if it's over that set price, you bank the difference. You know, with futures, you are trading the future price of a commodity or a stock or a future price of an asset, basically, right? So when you're trading futures, you're trading the future price. With the Emini, I'm trading the future price of the Emini, of the SPY, of the market, of the S&P 500, really. And so that's what futures trading is. And so when I scalp futures, I'm scalping the SPY, the overall market. I'm basically scalping the S&P 500 is what I'm scalping, technically. Or technically, I'm scalping, you know, similar to that. But I'm basically scalping this momentum. And so the last trade I got into, I waited for it to break this low, and I scalped it when it did. I shorted it on the way down. But the point is that if you can scalp momentum, if you can scalp mid and high cap momentum, you can scalp futures. You know, there's no PDT rule, a ton of leverage. On the platform I'm using, there's no commissions. There are fees though, but there's no commissions. Out of all those 3 trades I got into, it cost me $5 in fees. And that's from the CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. But when you hear somebody say they're trading the E-mini, they're just trading the SPY, the market itself. They're trading the SPY, the S&P 500 is really what they're trading. And so I'm waiting for the S&P 500 to break lows and look weak, and I'm shorting that thing. And that's all I did today is I waited for it to break lows and I shorted it on the way down. Like these low breaks here and here, that's what I shorted into. And that's what I'm doing in futures. The platform I'm using is a funded account program. And so it's basically like, they're basically saying, hey, if you could prove to us that you're profitable, we'll fund you as a trader. And you know, we'll keep 20%, you can keep 80%, and we can all make money, is what they're saying. And so in Top Step, my profit target is $3K. And so if I can hit $3,000 in profit on my Top Step Combine account, if I can hit 3K, they're going to fund me 50K. You know, as long as I follow the rest of their rules, they're going to fund me 50K with an 80% profit split. So if I can take that 50K funding and I make $2,000, right? I get to keep 1,600 of that, and they get to keep 400. If I make $1,000, I get to keep 800, which is 80%, and they get to keep the 200. And so we all make money. And that's what the Top Step funded account futures combine is. That's what it's doing. And so I'm proving to them that I'm profitable. And as you guys can see, I'm almost half of the way there. I'm close to half of the way there. I'm at $1,200 in profit. No losing days at all so far in my trading on futures. And we'll see what we get. But if you guys want to be a part of that, here's the link if you want to check it out. They do have a free trial as well. Yeah, there's no PDT. You can trade as much as you want. There's barely any fees. It depends on the sizing. If you trade huge sizing, obviously there's going to be fees. But I'm buying one contract today, literally one contract. Like you can see here, the fees here. The fees here for all of these trades has been $7.40. So very negligible fees. No commissions, but a small amount of fees, which are not by the platform itself. Yeah, sure. Yeah, Kyle, a lot of my futures trading, and this is something that I described in the video I put out last weekend, right? In the video I put out this past weekend, I explained how I've been trading, right? And something that is very important to the way I trade and extremely important to my futures trading, something that is crucially important is intraday trend, right? Like I have to be able to identify an intraday trend. Listen, the SPY here, you can see like this was not a trend. I mean, it was a trend, it was a sideways trend, but like look how sideways, neutral, and boring this thing was for the first, for the first 15-20 minutes of the day, right? The SPY was sideways, boring, Sideways, no action here. Like, look at this. It's straight sideways. Unless you're trading, like, shorting it at the top and covering at the bottom, I can't trade this right here. Like, this is, I'm gonna lose if I trade that. Right? Like this right here, I'm gonna lose if I trade that. Right? And so instead, what I need for my futures trading, what I need is I need a trend. I need an obvious, self-evident trend that I can attack in futures. Right? And so what I wait for is I wait for this trend to break, this neutral sideways trend. I wait for it to break and crack on the downside. I wait for a big surge of momentum to profit from. And so what you see here is I waited here, and this is a strategy that I have traded over and over and over again. I talked about it in a lot of videos I put out. I waited for this level to break. You can see that range. I documented that range, and then I waited for it to break on the downside. And when it did break, volume started to come in, and I shorted it. And then I waited for another trend to attack. I waited for that range to break again right here, and then I shorted it when it broke that. And it's not always going to work, but if you take small sizing and you don't overextend yourself in futures, you can rinse and repeat this all day, you know, and that's what I do. That's really why I'm as profitable as I am in futures, is because I just rinse and repeat the same strategies that work. But the overarching point I'm trying to make is that you have to identify a trend, and you need to avoid choppy trends, neutral trends that are not going to be favorable. You have to avoid them. Part of it is just discipline. Like, hey, listen, I stopped trading penny stocks because I got my butt kicked today. If futures are not favorable for me, I need to just hang it up and walk away. Because if I sit there and I poke it, a choppy market, it's gonna poke back and I'm gonna lose. You know. Yeah, you keep the first $5,000 in profit too. So even after, once you're funded, you get to keep 5K. First, your first 5K withdrawal, you get to keep 100% of it, and then you split 20% of it with them after that. Yeah, certainly, and the big thing, like, the key with futures is just avoiding choppy markets, like waiting for an obvious, like, self-evident trend to attack and then profiting from that trend, right? But if it's sideways, if it's neutral, if it's boring, if it's choppy, if the futures contracts you're trading are just crossing over and under the SPY, or over and under the VWAP, I mean, don't trade it. You know, find something else to do. Just don't trade it, because you will have days where the market is just flat out sideways and boring. And if you try to poke it too hard, you're just gonna lose. Ben Askren is certainly not the GOAT, man. I think if we're talking about the GOAT of MMA, I think it's either Jones, Habib is certainly up there, or Demetrius Johnson is who I think it's got to be. I think it's either Demetrius Johnson, John Jones, or Habib. I'm going with Habib based off of the dominance that he put out. You know, how dominant he was in the game. That's the number one thing that makes me want to go with Habib, because like Jones, like I said, in my opinion, Jones lost to Thiago. Even with Thiago's broken leg, Jones lost to Dominic Reyes, in my opinion. And Jones popped for multiple PED tests. And so, you know, I don't think you can be the GOAT if you fail for steroids. And I think that, you know, it is what it is. Certainly not GSP either. GSP's not the GOAT. GSP got knocked out by Matt Serra. That's ridiculous when people say GSP's the GOAT. He got knocked out by Matt Serra, man. He can't be the GOAT and get knocked out by Matt Serra. Let's be honest. Yeah, Eric even said, hey, gotcha, Sean. I'll check it out, Sean. Yeah, my bad. Like, I've had a lot of stuff going on the last, like, week or two with, like, my stomach. Like, yesterday I went to the ER. I had to go to a gastro doctor. I've been chronically nauseous for weeks and weeks now. It's been very difficult, to be honest, and it's been super frustrating and just difficult to, you know, function normally in the last few weeks. And so I apologize if I'm slow to get back, if I'm slow to message back, or if I missed anything. You know, I apologize. It's just been a rough time, to be honest. Nah, GSP certainly ain't the GOAT, man. GSP got knocked out by Matt Serra. You know? That ain't the GOAT. That ain't GOAT stuff. Like I said, I think Demetrius Johnson is probably the GOAT. It's either Khabib or Demetrius Johnson. And the reason I think it's Demetrius is because I did think Demetrius won that fight against Cejudo. I did think he won, and I think they gifted it to Cejudo for whatever reason. But I thought he won that, and I thought he's been the most dominant out of everybody. He's just beat everybody up, and so I do think it was Johnson. I think he was super boring and just dull, and I never liked watching DJ's fights. But I think you can't argue against, you know, how dominant he was. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and there's a reason Jones didn't want to rematch Thiago as well, you know. Yeah, and I think Jones has lost numerous times for whatever reason. The judges just gift Jones the wins. I think Jones certainly lost against Gustafsson. I thought he lost against Thiago, even with Thiago's broken leg, and I thought he certainly lost against Dominic Reyes. And for whatever reason, they just gifted Jones those decisions for whatever reason. But when you consider that, and his failed PED tests, and all the other stuff going on, I just, you know, and the fact that he hadn't finished a fight in you know, weeks, or in years. I'm sorry, in years. I think that Jones just is not the GOAT. I think people want him to be the GOAT, but he's just not. I think he's lost a bunch. What's with the violin? I'm getting emotional. I've got surgery tomorrow. Hey, I got you. Yeah, penny stocks were a mess today, man. Nah, Nate Diaz ain't the GOAT either. Yeah, Khabib has just been so dominant in everybody he's fought, right? In everybody he's fought, you know. Khabib also broke his toes in that last fight. But Khabib has just been so dominant in everybody he fought that I think that's the GOAT. He's never lost, and I think the fact that he's never lost, he doesn't have one L on his record, and the fact that he just dominated everybody he ever fought, you know, listen, I think you got to give him the GOAT status. I think Jones is mad, but I think Jones is his own worst enemy, and he's the reason, you know, he can't blame anybody but himself that he's not considered it. And I think that people hate on Khabib just for his religion, but like the reality is, man, Khabib, I think that people are so biased against his religion that they just end up hating on him. But when you look at how Khabib acts and like how he presents himself to the world, it's a very respectable like way. Like, he's a very respectable guy. He's a genuine dude. He has good morals and a good character, and I think he just dominated everybody he fought. Never lost either, and so I think you got to give him the GOAT status after that. No, I gotta take a blood sugar test this morning, so they had me fast, and the only thing they told me I could drink was plain black coffee, and so that's what I'm drinking today. It's just coffee. Yeah, I'm just drinking coffee today, and I usually drink tea in the morning because it's less harsh on my stomach, but since I had to fast this morning and I gotta go take that blood sugar test, I gotta drink coffee. Right, and it's not about never losing, it's about who you fight. Yeah, I think it certainly is, but I think it's also about the dominance of how you fight, and I think Jones lost his last 2 or 3 fights. Like, let's be honest here. Jones certainly lost versus Dominic Reyes. I think, objectively speaking, looking at that fight, yeah, sure, the judges gifted him the decision, but Jones got beat up in his last fight. It was obviously an L for Jones. Even with Thiago, with a broken leg, I thought Jones questionably lost that fight as well. And I think that if you look at who Khabib has fought, he's fought way higher caliber fighters, and he's dominated those fighters. And so I think looking at the big picture, like I said, I got to go with Khabib. Jones, Jones has been, I think Jones is certainly up there, but I think he's popped for PEDs as well. And I think that alone disqualifies him from the, GOAT. I think it's either Khabib or Demetrius Johnson, to be honest. And I don't like how Demetrius Johnson fought, but I thought he did beat Cejudo, and I think that he was, more dominant than most. Why futures? Because I make money in futures. Yeah, so Real saying why futures? Because I make money in futures, man. And so it doesn't matter what we're trading. Whatever market looks good for me, I'm gonna trade it. And whatever market I can make money in and pull money out, I'm gonna trade it. And futures is that. Like I said, I'm still in the demo funding period of this, but like, no losses today. 3 trades, 100% accuracy. If we look at my whole month, you look at my graph, hey, listen, futures is going to be a profitable endeavor for me, certainly, if you look at these stats. So that's why, even if we look at like my trade list, look at my trade list. Last losing trade I had was on the 23rd. So a week ago was the last losing trade I had in futures. It was a $50 loss. But look at this, green. This is why I trade futures. You really want to see? Look at this. Look at this right here. Green. This is why I trade futures. The last loss I've had on the 23rd. So last losing day was Friday. It was the last loss. And it wasn't even a losing day. I haven't ended red any of the days. So far in the combine. But this is why I trade futures, is because it's profitable for me and the strategies I use work. And so I just stick with whatever market makes me the most money, and futures is it right now. And so once I'm funded, I'm super excited for that. But yeah, that's why. No, I mean, with scalping, the fees really aren't that bad. I mean, it's scalping, so like, yeah, the fees are going to be high because I'm trading a bunch, but like I said, hey, see you, D. Nah, not true tactical. Jones, I mean, listen, Jones hasn't finished somebody in years, man. If his striking was that dangerous, you'd have some finishes. Jones is certainly not. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Yeah, like I said, I mean, fees, of course we're going to have fees. I'm scalping, so I'm trading a bunch, and these are just very quick scalping positions. But, green is green, and like I said, I think I talked about it in my video this past weekend, but hey, listen. I talked about it in my video this weekend, but I think scalping more than anything else, it's going to really put it out there if you're profitable or not. Like, over everything else here, it's scalping, right? Like, over everything else. Scalping is going to show you if you're really profitable or not. And why will it? Is because there's so many trades. Like, it's such an abundance of trades. The sheer number of trades is going to make it extremely clear if you're a profitable trader or if you're not, right? It's not like, shout out to my man Mark Douglas. Rest in peace. But Mark Douglas famously said, there's a random distribution of wins and losses in the market, right? And so with that in mind, with what Mark Douglas said, the random distribution of wins and losses in the market, it's going to take some time. It's going to take a big sample size for it to really show you whether it's a winning or losing system. With scalping, the sheer number of trades you're taking is going to show you quicker whether you're profitable or not. And so very clear that I'm a profitable scalper. Sure, are fees high? Absolutely. Of course fees are high. It's scalping. Scalping, if I'm trading over and over and over again, fees are going to be high, right? But it doesn't matter because obviously I've made $1,200 in a week, in this account. And sure, it's the funding period, so technically it's a demo account because I'm trying to prove to them that I'm profitable so I can get funded as a proprietary trader. But again, the sheer number of trades that I'm putting in makes it very clear if I'm profitable or not. And this is my graphs. These are my graphs. And so, we can nitpick about whether, for whatever reason, if people want to try to hate on a super profitable graph, that's fine. But like I said, in the end, I think it's very self-evident that the system that I'm using certainly works. Regardless of what anybody wants to say, it's obvious that it works, that the system works. How do you manage risk? It's not options, Tar, so it's not options, man. It's contracts, so it's different. It's not like options trading. It's simply just contracts, right? Basically, the only difference between stocks and futures trading, virtually, they're the same thing aside from, in futures, they go by ticks up or down instead of cents. And so if it goes up one tick and I have one contract, that's $12.50 in profit. If it goes down against me one tick and I'm holding one contract, then I lose $12.50. If I'm holding two contracts and it goes up or down one tick, that's $25 in profit or losses. If I'm holding one contract and it goes two ticks towards me in my direction, then I make $25, so forth and so on. And that's just for the Emini. In other future contracts, every tick up or down is going to be a different profit or loss. I know one of them's $10 instead of $12.50, but that's virtually the only difference. So it's not like I'm buying options here. It's just like day trading, where I can join the bid, I can join the ask, I can buy market, I can sell market, but it's an active trading system. I trade the Emini, just the regular Emini, the ESZ or the ES. The 1200 was this in 9 days. Keto. It was 9 days. So yeah, it was 9 days. We could look at my actual Combine account thing here. And so yeah, this is it. I'm probably gonna have to close it down here, guys. I have to go take that blood sugar test this morning. But yeah, this is my Top Step homepage right now. And so yeah, 100% winning days. 9 days complete. So I've traded 9 days, made $1,200 net, about $2,000 gross. But yeah, and this is my really first time delving into the futures market. I don't really trade futures. This is my first month ever trading futures. But the scalping strategies are the same scalping strategies I've used over the last year. If you're just now delving into the market, or if you're just now watching this stream, right? I've streamed live for years, scalping mid and high caps, right? And I did make about $8,000, $9,000 last year scalping mid and high caps using these same strategies that I'm actually using in futures. The same ones, the same exact strategies that I'm using in futures. I'm using I used last year in mid and high caps. And so it's the same strategies because it's basically I'm trading the S&P 500 and mid and high caps move very similar to that. And so it translates really easily back to futures, the same scalping strategies that I used in high caps. So that's basically what I'm doing. Hey, what's up, Tyrell? I usually trade 30 minutes after the open. But yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Here's the link. Like I said, if you want to be in the same futures funded account proprietary program that I'm using called Top Step, where you can, if you prove yourself that you're profitable, they fund you 30K, 50K, even higher than that if you get one of the more expensive packages. yeah, if you want to be in it, like I said, I think it's very reasonable. It's one of the most highly reviewed funded account programs I've used, and it's one of the most, it's one of the cheapest too. It's $130 if you use my link for 20% off to be in the base one, the 30K program. And yeah, if you want to check it out, here's the link. I gotta go get that blood sugar test, team. So, yeah, I'll see you guys a little bit later. Have a good day, guys. Also, if you want to, number one, hit that subscribe button, team. I definitely appreciate it if you do. If you want to be on my team for the World Series of Day Trading, I do have this link. The World Series is completely free, regardless of whether you like TradeNet or don't like TradeNet or whatever it is. It's completely free, doesn't cost anything, and you know, if you're in the, basically they give you a demo account for a week, and the top 10 traders get free packages, get free accounts. If you're in the U.S., unfortunately, you can't use them. It's only for people outside the U.S. I know TradeNet did get, you know, SEC charged with, they get charged with the SEC because they let U.S. traders basically trade. And so, unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, and U.S. traders can no longer use TradeNet. But still, they did process my withdrawal, and so they are legit. They processed my withdrawal from last year. And if you're overseas in Mexico, Canada, Europe, you can still be a part of the World Series of Day Trading. My team has come in the top 3 every time, every World Series. And so if you want to be a part of that, here's the link. You can join it. And yeah, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good day, team. Love you all. Good luck in the markets, and we'll see you guys later. Hey, yeah, y'all hit that subscribe button. Hey, hit that subscribe button. I love you all. Good luck. Appreciate the love, team. I'll see you guys later.